Rise and shine, everyone, and thank you for joining us on air and streaming on KARE 11 Plus. I'm Jason Hackett alongside Alicia Lewis. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. From what I heard, I was away this weekend. It was really, really nice outside.
It was nice. You were in New Jersey.
Yes,
it was
cold.
And here it was amazing, beautiful, Courtney. Yesterday it was nice to get outside and enjoy the patio.
It was stunning. Definitely patio weather outside yesterday. Our first 60 of the year, warmest day of the year so far. I could go on and on. I hope you enjoyed it because things are going to change. Today will be pretty nice too, not quite as warm. We're going to make it into the mid 50s and it's a pretty comfy start to your Monday morning. 47 right now. About an hour ago it was 50, so we've lost a few degrees. That's to be expected just before the sun comes up. That is the coolest time of day. We've got great visibility. We've got dry roads, so no concerns for your morning commute. The forecast high 55. The average high is 38. So we are nearly 20 degrees above that with the forecast. Not expecting any precip today, but that will change as we move into the upcoming week. More up on that later, but yesterday we did spring forward, so that means sunset tonight is at 7 o'clock. That's our second 7 o'clock sunset of the season, giving us a little bit over 11 and a half hours of daylight for today. More on your forecast coming up.
Well, good morning. Hope your Monday's off to a great start. Not seeing any crashes out there right now, which is great. I saw one crash maybe about 30 minutes ago over in St. Paul on 35E, but that cleared pretty quickly. You will notice too here that 494 is back open after a weekend closure this morning. Both directions shut down between 35W and Highway 77. So you no longer need to detour on Highway 62 this morning. So keep that in mind. But we are going to be seeing some work here starting tonight on 494. The westbound lanes only. That project's going to last today through Saturday. So I'll break down that project when I see you again next and tell you the workarounds. But for your morning drive, things are okay right now. Alicia.
Cece, thank you. Well, this morning, the fighting in Iran is entering its second week with no signs of it ending anytime soon. And the war is about to impact our everyday lives in some big ways here. Audrey's at the live desk now with the very latest. Audrey.
Yeah, this is a live look at the U.S. Futures Board, and as you can see, they're down this morning, a lot in the red. Dow futures fell 1,000 points on Sunday. The S&P and the NASDAQ slid too, all as Iran starts the week with a new leader. This was the reaction hours ago in Iran to the news that Mujtaba Khamenei is the new supreme leader. His predecessor and father, Ali, was killed during the first days of Operation Epic Fury. Now, experts say this signals more of the same for the Iranian government, with diminished hopes for a democratic future. Before the succession was announced, President Donald Trump told outlets he wanted to handpick the country's new leader. The last week has been a lot to take in for local people with ties to Iran.
We are hoping, we get our country back. That's our wishes.
When you go assassinate the leader of a group, especially somebody who had a religious position, then you're probably creating a martyr.
Now, in the last 24 hours, we've learned that a 7th U.S. service member has been killed during Operation Epic Fury. The U.S. military says they were injured during an attack in Saudi Arabia on March 1st. They have not been identified yet. Back to you.
Audrey, thank you. And if you haven't already noticed, gas prices are way up. The conflict in the Middle East is leading to higher oil prices, and that's pushing gas prices even higher. And we just checked AAA. The national average right now is $3.47 a gallon. That's a 48-cent jump from just a week ago. Here in Minnesota, the state average is $3.25 a gallon. You can find the latest gas prices on our website at any time. Just head to KARE11.com. Now, in response to the rising oil and gas prices, President Trump posted on social media last night saying the increase is a small price to pay for the U.S., the world, and safety and peace. He also said the spike in prices would only be for a short time and would end once Iran's nuclear threat is over.
Time now 6:05. We are live from the nation's capital, nearly 1 month into the Department of Homeland Security shutdown. And this morning, thousands of travelers are feeling the impacts firsthand as spring break travel ramps up across the country.
Our Megan McPherson's live at MSP Airport with a closer look at what some are calling a travel nightmare, Megan.
Yeah, I think no nightmares so far, hopefully, out of MSP this morning, because I'm not seeing a ton of cancellations or delays. However, if you are heading here, definitely give yourself some extra time for security. Take a look up at the big boards here. You can see that for South Security, which is the side that we're on, it's about less than a 20-minute wait, but that wait is definitely probably closer to 20 minutes based on the lines that we're seeing. And then on the North Security side, the same thing. We have seen these lines continue to grow throughout the morning. They stretch back. I mean, there's got to be at least 100 people at minimum in this line here currently right now. And again, it just continues to grow. We know that that period between 4 and 8 a.m. Here at the airport is a very busy travel time. And of course, with that spring break travel rush, lots of people heading out on this Monday morning for their vacations. Now, also, though, at airports across the country this weekend, take a look at these videos. They show long TSA lines at airports like New Orleans and Houston. Some travelers there reporting wait times of 3 hours or more. The Department of Homeland Security says that these delays are tied to the partial government shutdown, which has left TSA agents working without pay right now. A reminder that this partial shutdown stems from a standoff in Congress. Democrats are demanding changes to immigration enforcement before approving new Homeland Security funding. The White House and Senate Democrats have traded offers in past weeks, but no deal yet. So the biggest thing to know if you are heading to MSP this morning, just give yourself a little extra time. Actually, here at the over at the North Security checkpoint, I just checked the board. That just bumped up to less than 30 minutes. So that clearly shows you that the lines here, they're constantly changing, but especially in these morning hours. Even if you have TSA pre-check, definitely give yourself some extra time. I think you said earlier, Alicia, that Jason, you're somebody that does not leave yourself a lot of time. I do too. I have TSA pre-check. I don't usually get to the gate as early as I should, but this is showing me that you should if you were heading out of MSP this morning.
Yeah, I'm a 45 minutes kind of guy.
Gives me anxiety just hearing that.
Alicia gets there like 5 hours before. She has a whole meal. She takes a nap. She gets a massage.
Go to the lounge.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. But it is good advice to get there early. Megan, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So this morning, a new NBC News poll shows Americans apparently aren't happy with the direction of the country, and most are blaming the Trump administration. It shows 54% of registered voters who were surveyed say they disapprove of the president's job performance so far in his second term, with about 44% approving. The biggest issues for voters right now is their finances. When it comes to the president's job performance regarding inflation and the cost of living, the disapproval numbers are even higher, 62%. That's up from the same time last year. Only 36% of people approve of how Trump's doing on those issues right now. Now, 48% of voters polled say the president's policies are hurting the economy, with 35% saying they've helped. Border security was the only major issue a majority of voters had a positive view of the president.
Your doctor could be going on strike. In just a week, a line of healthcare workers will decide when they're going to hit the picket line after authorizing a strike over the weekend. The Doctors Council Union says it's still working to negotiate its first contract with Allina after hundreds of employees unionized nearly 3 years ago. They're asking for higher pay, additional sick time, and a bigger say in how they care for patients.
I feel like the last lever that we had was unionization, and enough of us had enough that we wanted and we needed to do this to fight for our patients and the kind of care they deserve and the kind of careers that we want to have, and also to preserve it for future generations of clinicians.
Nearly 90% of union members who voted supported authorizing a strike. In a statement, Allina Health tells us, quote, while this action does not guarantee a strike, it shifts focus away from the meaningful progress that continues at the bargaining table.